life-giving and liberating, Lord. Amen. You may be seated. He came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, and the coast of Tyre and Sidon. They had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And those who were troubled with unclean spirits were cured. And all in the crowd were trying to touch him, for power came out from him and healed all of them. Power came out of him and healed all of them. Well, good morning to all of you. It is a blessing, an honor, and a privilege to stand before you today. It has been a long journey, not so long, but here we have arrived this day. Now, this week I started on Monday, February the 11th, and I've had an open door where I've met many of you. And it's been a blessing and a joy to begin to hear your stories and to get to know you and for you to get to know me as well. And those of you who I have not met yet, I'm hoping that you will stop by and so we can get to know each other, to know who you are, and just a little bit. And as time goes on, I'm sure we will know each other as a congregation as well as individually. Now, I am standing before you as your interim rector, and that just means that I'll be here for some time, for a short time, getting things ready until you call your rector, your permanent rector. Sometimes they say settled rectors, settled position. But while we're here, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to work hard, play hard, but it will be a wonderful journey for us to get of discovery, for us to see what God is up to. So what has God been up to here at All Saints? What's he been doing all this time since you've been transitioned? I guess the answer this morning is, from what I've seen, it seems like God has been doing some amazing things here, because everyone I've met with you all, you have just blessed me, you have been hospitable, and you have really just welcomed me in such a gracious, loving manner. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your welcome, your true welcome. Speaking about welcome, I just want to welcome my daughter who's with me this morning, and her name's Mary. She came in from St. Bonaventure, upstate New York, where she is working as assistant dean at St. Bonaventure University. So she's here until tomorrow morning. She wanted to come and support me and to get to know all of you as well. So I'm just grateful for her presence and for her support and her love. Now, we have a time together. I am your rector in the sense that all the duties of a rector I will be doing, preaching, teaching, pastoral care, and other duties as assigned, as they call it, right? Don't ask me to play the piano or anything like that. I could play a little of the guitar and so on, and I can sing a little, but I'm working on it. I'm still a work in progress. But in terms of the first word, interim, and that just means that in between time, as we begin to unpack a sense of discernment of who you are, who has God called you to be, what has God called you to do and to be. And during this time, we will try to unpack what God is up to. And who are you? Who are you? It's important to know your doctors and lawyers and psychologists and pastors and rectors and so on, but really, who are you? Getting to the core of your heritage and your identity. And your identity, who you are, is that you are beloved. You're a child of God, made in His image. That's who we are as Christians, first and foremost. The other stuff is wonderful to have, our gifts and all the things that God has given us. But at the root of it, all of us here, good people, are God's children. And we welcome all. That word all means everyone. And we are so grateful for a gracious God. We also want to know, who are your neighbors? Who are the people around you? Who are the people up the hill? And who are the people next door and front and behind? Because God has called us at the end of the service, when we have been nourished and fed, we come into this place to be nourished through the Holy Eucharist, to be able to reconcile our differences and to have peace and shalom and filled up from the week. But as we leave, after we say that we receive the host, we receive the bread and wine, and those doors are open and we said, let us go forth into the world, that's when the service begins. That's when our work begins, to get to know who our neighbors are. So there are many, I'm sure there are many things we can work on, but we'll pick a few things, maybe 3 or 4 priorities, your priorities. I'm here to join you in your work that you do, and I have my work, the sacramental piece, absolution, the preaching, teaching, and so on. So I feel really blessed, truly blessed, and it's just to be standing in front of you, very happy and at peace. Even though I have a little head cold and I might sound nasal, and even though I'm a little disoriented by the face, your faces and the space and just getting familiar, I'm a little anxious. So are you anxious as well a little bit? Come on, speak the truth. You're not anxious at all? You don't have nothing? Wow, you're a great bunch. You're just a great bunch, so that's wonderful. Now, speaking about being blessed, now this morning in Luke's Gospel, chapter 6, from 17 verses 17 to about 26, we're hearing Jesus' first sermon. That is the Sermon on the Mount. That is in Matthew's Gospel. That is the longer. It's about 8 Beatitudes. But in Luke, the shorter version, we hear about blessings. There are 4 blessings. Then there's a rejoice, regardless of what's going on, and we hear some woes. And those woes don't get too, they're some kind of flipped, because that's Jesus who he is. He comes on the scene and he just does things upside down. That's who he is, very radical. But he's saying really, to be poor in the sense that we have so many, literally he's saying on one hand, there are so many poor people in America, a land of the richest, a land that is milk and honey. And in spite of all that the abundance that the Lord has given us, we still see people coming from a place of scarcity. There's still a lot of the have and the have-nots. But also, he's also talking about the poor in terms of our spiritual formation, in terms of how we fill in ourselves day after day, not just on Sundays, not just when we're here and then we leave out and we come back again. God is asking us to be Christians 24/7. So just how we are in here, we should be out there as well. Show our love, not just in here, but to the people as well. But so he's saying in the woes to just take time to examine your conscience, to examine where you are in your spiritual walk. Are you feeding the hungry, which you are doing? Are you clothing the naked? Are you offering someone something to drink? Are you visiting the sick, which you are? Are you doing these things, acts of mercy and kindness? Are you being gentle? Are you loving? Are you forgiving? So we hear him come down at the beginning of the passage. He comes down on the plain. That's what it says in Luke's Gospel, his version. And that's why you see me here as opposed to over there this morning. To be intimate, to be part, join you in your work, join you as a congregation, to support, to love, to show you that I am also walking this journey with you. A journey of unknown, a journey of some uncertainty, a journey that could be a little risky, because in transition, it could be, there's a time, it's a little risky, it's a little uncertain, but it's also a time for creativity. How many of you have been to the circus, young people? Have you been to the circus? Maybe some of us younger ones also have been to the circus. The last time I've been to the circus, I remember that the person has to hold the bar on one side and swing, and there's an in-between space before they get to the other side to ride it, right? It has to be just the right time. And you see that in-between time where the trapeze is to catch the other piece, the bar, that could make or break. That could be real risky, but that's also a wonderful time for creativity, to really do some wonderful things, to think outside the box. I think we're doing great ministry here. I love what I see. And as I get to know you, I'm not here to quickly change anything and start, bringing, but just observe and see how you do things, how you need to hear from you and so on. And as we get to know each other, we can kind of see where we need to tweak some things and where maybe some things old patterns and attitudes need to be put aside and so on. So it's an exciting time of transition. It's an exciting time of new beginnings. And what is really great, whether it's interim or settled, the ministry doesn't stop. The ministry of Jesus Christ, taking care of each other, loving each other, caring and supporting for each other, that doesn't break at all. Whether you have an interim or you have a settled pastor. We are all called to continue to use our gifts. We are all called to love one another, serve the Lord, and serve others. So just imagine with me for a moment. Imagine a world that doesn't have any hunger, that all our bellies can be filled, that we would have an abundance that the Lord has promised that we could share with others. Imagine a world where there's no violence. We just heard about some violence over the week that didn't get advertised at all, some killings again, senseless shootings. Imagine a world where there's no violence, but there is peace and love and justice for all. Imagine a world where all of those social barriers can be knocked down, racism and sexism and any kind of isms you can think about. That all of us are treated with dignity and respect, and that all of us are listened to. That's what they came to Jesus on that day when Jesus came down with his disciples, with his apostles, after he had prayed. They came down to listen. They came from everywhere, Judea, Jerusalem, Tyre and Sidon, everywhere they came. And Jesus accepted everyone that was there. They came to listen, just like you this morning. You came to listen, to see who this Alicia is, the woman from Trinidad with the accent, the woman who came with calypso music and the land of the hummingbird. You came to see and to hear whether you'd understand me this morning, whether my message would resonate with you, whether you would be touched in some kind of way. Would you be able to walk out of here and feel fed today? That's why they came. They came out of curiosity because many, many people came before Jesus. All kinds of charlatans, all kinds of messiahs came. But this one came with a message of healing, of hope. He came with a message to break down all barriers, to say that everyone are welcome at my table, in my kingdom. And the kingdom is now. They came for listening and they came for healing. And all of us in here, small, large, young, old, black, white, gay, straight, whether we're ill or we're well, whether we're beautiful. I don't like to use the word ugly, but Desmond Tutu wrote a book and he did say ugly or beautiful. But I'll get rid of the ugly because we're all beautiful. All of you are just so beautiful. And they came and he healed many. And that's what we all are here for this morning, myself included, We come to hear from a word from the Lord. We come with our challenges. We come with our woes. We come with our blessings. And most importantly, we come together to be in unity and one accord, with one vision, one hope. Imagine all of this. Imagine where we can go if we just work together, if we just love one another, if we're gentle with each other, if we're kind with each other. It's okay to the woes they're not really like reprimands. They're more like check yourself out. If you're not doing these things, you need to be doing them. And myself included. I hope that you would be able to talk to me, that we can be open and that we can be honest with each other. Because I'm not the savior. I'm not promising you that. I'm just here as an instrument of God's love and God's mercy and God's grace. And by so we go. But together. Because none of us can see through a glass full. We all see through a glass darkly. We all know in part. But together, we can do amazing, amazing things. So I look forward to get to know you in this coming weeks, for this journey that we're on, this sweet journey. It'll be a little rocky, because if Jesus stopped at the blessings, it would just be a little pie in the sky stuff, right? It'd just be everything's real nice and whatever, like this time is the honeymoon phase for you and me, and everything's nice and stuff. But as we really dig our heels in and we really get into the nitty-gritty of stuff, sometimes we're going to agree to disagree on things. And that's what this is all about, because the Lord is saying back then, and he's saying it today to us. He's saying, you know, being a Christian is a sweet journey. It's wonderful. I have your back. I'm always going to be with you. I'm never going to leave you. I'm never going to forsake you. But he's also saying, because you're going to be speaking in my name, you're going to be representing me. You're going to be my child. You're going to be my beloved. You will be attacked. You will be persecuted. Someone's going to look and hate you for just who you are. Someone is going to just challenge you just because of what you say. You will have these kinds of challenges. But it's okay, he says, take heart, because I am with you until the end of the ages. So I feel blessed. I think we're going to live it, and we're going to do it, because this is who you are, good people of all saints. Because you're loving, you're kind, you're gentle, and most of all, you're a people of sacrifice and serving God and loving others. To God be the glory. Amen.